Are you ready for the ultimate fusion recipe? Fresh ahi, creamy avocado, crunchy wonton shells, the ultimate flavor explosion in your mouth. Let's make some poke tacos. Aloha mai kako, my name is Relle and welcome to my kitchen where I like to share all my favorite Hawaiian and local recipes. And if you know anything about Hawaii, you know it's the melting pot of the world. So fusion foods are some of my favorite things to make. Today we'll be making some poke tacos. That's right, poke tacos. So let's get started. It's super yummy. Now, you can do any style poke that you like. I'm gonna do some spicy ahi today. You're gonna get yourself some ahi. Sushi grade ahi is best. Sashimi. That just means the fish comes from a reputable source that is safe to be consumed raw. So for poke, normally it's about like 3/4 inch cubes. But because these are gonna go in like mini tacos, I'm gonna cut it a little bit smaller than I normally would. Now, you wanna cut against the grain to try to prevent that stringiness that you can get sometimes with fish. And this slab is really thick. So actually I'm gonna slice it in half. And with fish, you don't wanna saw because it'll damage the fish. So you want like long single strokes. Obviously, this is a big piece, so you can't cut it with just one. So you'll have to do more than one slice. But if it was a small piece, you would want just like one back, 1/4, and that's it. Not like. And you want to make sure you have a good knife that's nice and sharp so that you get clean cuts. So you'll cut it like that, and then you'll want to cut against the grain. Like I said, I'm going to cut the cubes a little bit smaller than I normally would. So it'll start at about that size. Just because the tacos are like mini, like street taco size. Now, if you were going to do a full size, by all means, you can cut them into their regular pieces. Poke is actually the Hawaiian word for like cut, dice, chop kind of a deal. And that's where the name of this dish comes from. It's not actually the fish itself. It's describing the method. You'll just cut it across so you'll end up with little bite-sized squares, about yay big. Obviously, fresh fish is best, and if you can get some, awesome, and if not, make do with what you've got. So we'll put that into a bowl. Let me cut this. I'll show you how to make the sauce for it. All right, now that our fish is cut, if you want to do shoyu poke, Hawaiian style poke, up to you. I have those recipes on the blog. You can click up here or click the link in the description box below, as well as the recipe instructions and ingredients for this recipe will be listed below as well. Let me wash my hands real quick. I'll be right back. And then we're gonna make the sauce. So like I said, this is a spicy ahi poke. We're gonna need some Kewpie mayo. Now, up to you if you want regular Best Foods mayo or another one, that's fine, but I really like to use the Kewpie. And then the spice that I like to use is sriracha, but up to you if you want to use a different hot sauce. That's the great thing about recipes. Make it your own, use what you like, leave out what you don't. A little bit of shoyu, that's Japanese style soy sauce. Find it in the Asian aisle at your local grocery store. And a tad of sesame oil. Sesame oil is a very bold flavor, so you really don't need much. Mix that up. And this is the sauce. Super easy. You can toss it on salmon. You can toss it on ahi. Into the ahi, we'll pour this. And it shouldn't drown it. It should just be like a light coating. Now, all of this is going onto the same thing, so it's all right. Now, if we were using raw ingredients, then I would say change out your knife, change out your board, but this is all gonna get tossed together. We'll need a little bit of green onion, and then you'll just want to do thin slices like this. I like to just use the green tops, but up to you. If you want the whites, you totally can. And then that goes in. Also, what I like to toss in sometimes, and I'd like to mahalo our sponsor, Foodland Hawaii, for sponsoring this video. As always, thoughts and opinions are my own, but today we're gonna be using my Kai Organic Nori Furikake. They have a few different varieties. This is the regular one. You can find this in the Asian aisle at your local Foodland. Pick it up, it's super awesome. You can use it on fish, on musubis, on your rice. If you're not familiar, it's a sesame seed. Nori is dried seaweed, and it makes like a condiment that is like a lot of recipes use. We'll go ahead and sprinkle this over. Not classic of your spicy ahi, but it does add a little bit of an extra umami punch to it. I like to add it. Now I'm gonna set this in the fridge to kind of marinate while we make the taco shells. All right, the ahi is marinating in the fridge, and now we'll make the taco shells. Not your classic taco shells either. We're gonna make them with wonton wrappers. Wonton wrappers are like dumpling wrappers. You can find them in the refrigerated aisle at most grocery stores. They come in squares. Now, tacos aren't square shape, right? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your wonton wrapper and you're gonna take a cookie cutter, a cup, whatever you wanna do, and you're gonna cut them into a circle shape. So you can stack a few of them on each other, and then you'll just go ahead and cut it. Do not throw away these extra pieces. You can make wonton chips with it. I have a recipe for it. You can click the link here or in the description box below. Check that out. So save these, make wonton chips, but then you got your round taco shells. Now here's the trick. Taco shells, obviously you need to be like this, right? So you're gonna take your wonton wrapper and you're gonna use your wooden spoon like this, and you're gonna kind of lay it in and then push the spoon into the middle so you can kind of control the curve of it like this. And like I said, the further you push it down, the more closed it'll be. So if you kind of just let it sit at the top to form its shape first and then push it under, then you get a nice shape. And you want it golden brown, so it takes like maybe 30 seconds to a minute. Drain the excess oil and place it on a cooling rack placed over a cookie sheet, or you can put it on a paper towel. But then you've got your beautiful taco shell. It's a little hot, but then it looks like this. So let me finish up and we'll be right back. All right, last taco shell coming out. All right, we got the shells cooling down. Let's make some avocado crema, super yummy to drizzle on top of our poke tacos. You can use a blender, a food processor, whatever you have. We're gonna start off with a couple of avocados. They always say you cut it in half, whack the seed out, blah, blah, blah. What I like to do, I'll show you a little trick. Cut it around, get it out. For the seed, if you just put your finger on it like this, you can just push the seed right out. And you don't have to like whack. So spoon that in to a blender. Now the great thing about tacos, you can put any toppings that you wish. Okay, a little bit of cilantro. You can just rough chop it. And then that goes in. A little bit of sour cream. The juice of 2 limes. So if you give it a little bit of a roll, that helps. And then get yourself a juicer. Like, it makes life so much easier, I promise. I'll link the one that I have in the description box below. Put it in like that and give it a squeeze. Might work out for the day. And then last but not least, a couple of cloves of garlic. I'll show you a trick of how to dice up garlic. You could toss it in if you have a really good blender. You could toss it in like that. You'll take your garlic very carefully. You're gonna make horizontal cuts, kind of like how we do the onion, right? So we make layers this way, then you turn it, then you're gonna make vertical cuts like this, and then turn it, and then you'll make little cuts like that. And you'll get a nice little dice. You can toss that in. All right, let's get the top on. And sometimes if you have a big blender, it doesn't pull all the stuff down from the sides. So sometimes like the single serve cup attachments, those actually work really well too. Just push that down. All right, and that's your avocado crema. If you like it a little bit thinner, you can totally add a little bit more sour cream to thin it out. But let me get all of this cleaned up and we'll put a station together to put it all together and show you what it looks like. All right, I got everything set up. Let's make some poke tacos. So you're gonna take your taco shell that you made out of the wonton, and into that, you're gonna add your poke, a little, a lot, up to you. Really, you just need a spoonful of it. Then I like to top it with the avocado crema. Now you can dollop it, or you could be fancy. What I did was put it into like a little zip top bag, and then you just cut the end of it, and it gives you a little squeeze bag like this, and then you can just doop, doop, doop. And then I like to top it off with a little bit of furikake. So this is a great dish that you can take to potlucks, to share with family and friends. If you have a quick weeknight meal that you want to do something a little bit different. If you have kids and they don't like spicy, swap out the type of poke. My kids really love shoyu ahi poke. That one's yummy, Hawaiian style poke. But you know, I figure taco, oftentimes it has a little bit of kick and a little bit of spice. So I went with the spicy ahi for that one. And then the crema kind of just cools that spice down too. That's one way to get it not be as spicy. If you like fusion recipes and you want to see another one, then check out this video here. And until next time, ahui ho!
Thank you for watching my mommy's video.